The thing about cutting down your own Christmas tree is that you're supposed to do it during daylight. We learned that lesson too late. I'm writing this from a motel room in Northern California, 300 miles from Portland. My hands won't stop shaking. I haven't slept in 2 days, and I know that distance doesn't matter. Not to something like that. But I'm getting ahead of myself. It started because my girlfriend Melissa wanted the authentic experience. December 19th, 8 days before Christmas. She'd never done the whole cut-your-own-tree thing. Her family always bought pre-cut from lots, artificial trees wrapped in plastic. She wanted something real, something memorable. I invited my buddy Jake and his girlfriend Amber. Made it a double-date thing. We drive up to Thornwood Forest, this massive tree farm about 40 miles outside Portland. Cut down a tree, drink some hot chocolate, take Instagram photos. Easy, fun, normal people stuff. We left late. That was mistake number 1. Melissa's shift at the hospital ran long. By the time we picked up Jake and Amber, it was already past 3. December in Oregon means darkness comes fast. The tree farm closed at 5. Jake told me we'd make it. Plenty of time to grab a tree and get out. I should have turned around. Should have rescheduled. But Melissa had been looking forward to this all week, and I could see the disappointment in her eyes when she checked the time. So I drove faster. We pulled into Thornwood's gravel lot at 4:17 p.m. The place was deserted. A hand-painted sign hung crooked on the door. Closed. See you next season. Amber muttered something about what we'd do now. Melissa's face fell. I felt that stupid male urge to fix it, to make her happy. The trees were still there. We could just grab one, leave money in the mailbox? Jake grinned. Civil disobedience for Christmas. Melissa was already pulling her knit hat down over her ears, already smiling. Quick in and out, right? The forest stretched out behind the office building. Rows and rows of Douglas firs and noble pines, all tagged with colored ribbons. The trees closer to the parking lot had been picked over. The good ones were deeper in. We grabbed the rusty handsaw hanging on the office's exterior wall and headed into the rows. Our boots crunched on frozen ground. My breath came out in thick clouds. The temperature had dropped significantly. Amber pointed to a 6-footer with decent shape, but Melissa shook her head. Too sparse on the left side. She was taking this seriously, examining each tree like she was buying a house. The best ones were always in the back, she said. That was mistake number 2. We walked deeper into the rows. The trees got denser, taller, their branches heavy with snow. The light was fading fast. That gray twilight that makes everything look washed out and strange. Shadows pooled between the trees, thick and dark. About 10 minutes in, Melissa stopped. She'd seen something. Scratches on a tree trunk. Too high up, too deep. Like something with claws had climbed up and gouged the bark. The marks were fresh, wood still pale underneath. Jake said it was probably a bear. Melissa laughed nervously, said bears don't climb that high. Amber suggested we head back, pick a tree closer to the parking lot. But I could see the perfect tree Melissa wanted was still ahead, just a little farther, and I wanted to make her happy. So I told them it was fine, just a few more minutes. We kept walking. I kept checking my phone. 4:33 p.m. We needed to move faster. Then Melissa grabbed my arm, pointing. About 30 yards ahead stood a perfect tree. Maybe 7 feet tall, full and symmetrical, branches heavy with dark green needles. the kind of tree you'd see in a magazine spread. We approached it, and something shifted in my chest. A weird sensation, like walking into a room where someone just stopped talking about you. The air felt different here. Colder. Heavier. My instincts were screaming at me, but I ignored them. I was good at that. I knelt at the base with the saw. The trunk was thicker than I expected, maybe 6 inches across. I started sawing, the blade biting into wood with a rhythmic scraping sound. That's when I noticed the smell. Not pine, not the clean, sharp scent of Christmas trees. Something else. Something organic and wrong. Like meat left in a warm car, like copper and rot mixed together. I stopped sawing, asked if anyone else smelled it. Melissa said no, but her voice had changed. Uncertain. I went back to sawing. Maybe it was a dead animal nearby. Deer or raccoon. Nothing weird about that. My brain was working overtime to rationalize, to make everything normal. That's what we do, isn't it? When something feels wrong, we tell ourselves stories to make it okay. The saw was halfway through when Amber spoke. Her voice was flat, emotionless. The kind of tone people use when their brain can't process what they're seeing. She said there was something in the trees. We all looked up. At first I didn't see it. Just the darkening forest, the rows of trees stretching into shadow. Then my eyes adjusted, and my stomach dropped. About 50 yards away, standing between 2 large pines, was something tall. Very tall. At least 8 feet, maybe more. It was hard to tell because of the way it stood. Hunched forward, arms hanging too long, almost to the ground. It was white. Not snow white. Not pale skin white. Something else. Like bone that had been buried and dug up. Like fungus growing on dead wood. And it was watching us. I couldn't see eyes. The distance was too great, the light too dim. But I could feel its attention. That primal animal sense that tells you when you're being observed. When you're being evaluated as prey. My mind kept trying to make it make sense. A person in a costume. Some jerk trying to scare people. But even as I thought it, I knew it was a lie. The proportions were wrong. The way it stood was wrong. Everything about it was fundamentally, impossibly wrong. Jake whispered something, a question I couldn't answer because I didn't have words for what we were seeing. Nobody else answered either. We all just stared, frozen, our breath coming fast and shallow. The thing didn't move, just stood there perfectly still, that impossible posture that no human could maintain. The forest around it was silent. No birds, no wind, no sound except our breathing and the hammering of my heart against my ribs. Amber said we should go. Right now. We should go. Melissa suggested it was probably just someone in a costume, but she didn't sound convinced. Her hand had found mine, squeezing so hard it hurt. The thing tilted its head. The movement was wrong. Too smooth, too fluid, like it didn't have bones. Like it was made of something that could bend in ways that shouldn't be possible. Then it took a step toward us. Not a normal step. It moved like a spider, like something with too many joints. One of those long arms reached forward and grabbed a tree trunk. The other arm swung out, pulling it closer. It covered 10 feet in that single motion. I told everyone to run. We ran. I left the saw buried in the tree trunk, left everything. We just crashed through the rows of pines, branches whipping at our faces. Melissa's breathing was ragged and panicked beside me. Jake was ahead, pulling Amber by the hand. Behind us, I heard it moving. Not footsteps, something else. A rustling, scraping sound, like something large dragging itself across frozen ground, moving fast, too fast. Jake shouted not to look back. I looked back. The thing was following us through the trees, but not on the ground. It was moving through the branches, swinging from tree to tree, those impossibly long arms reaching and pulling. Its body folded and unfolded with each movement, joints bending backward, forward, sideways. In the failing light, I caught glimpses of its face. It didn't have one, just a smooth expanse of that bone-white surface like an egg, but there was a mouth. I saw the mouth, a vertical slit that opened too wide, filled with something dark and wet. My legs were burning. My lungs screamed for air. The parking lot had to be close. Had to be. We'd been running for how long? 30 seconds? A minute? Time had stopped making sense. We burst out of the tree rows into the open area near the parking lot. The office building was ahead, my truck beyond it. We were going to make it. Melissa went down. She'd caught her foot on something, a root, a hole, I don't know. She hit the frozen ground hard, crying out. I skidded to a stop, turning back, grabbing her arm and hauling her to her feet. Her knee was bleeding through her jeans, but she was moving, limping, but moving. Jake and Amber had reached my truck. Jake was screaming something, gesturing frantically. The thing emerged from the tree line. In the open, without the shadows and distance, I could see it clearly. It was worse than I'd thought. The body was too long, too thin, like someone had taken a human and stretched it on a rack. The arms reached past its knees, past where knees should be. The legs bent wrong, multiple joints creating angles that made my brain hurt to process. And it was fast. It covered the distance between us in 3 of those horrible spider movements, arms reaching, body folding. I could smell it now. That rot meat copper smell, overwhelming, making my stomach heave. I shoved Melissa toward the truck, shouted for her to run. She ran. I turned to face the thing, knowing it was stupid, knowing I had no weapon, no plan, but I couldn't just run, couldn't just let it take her. The thing stopped 10 feet away. This close, I could see details I wished I couldn't. The surface wasn't smooth. It was covered in tiny cracks, like old porcelain. Something moved beneath it, pulsing, like there was something living under the white surface. The vertical mouth opened, and I saw teeth. Not human teeth. Too many, too sharp, arranged in spiraling rows that went back into darkness. It made a sound, not a growl, not a roar. Something between a whisper and a scream, like wind through a tunnel, like metal scraping metal. Then Jake was beside me, holding a tire iron from my truck, telling me to get in the truck. The thing's head swiveled toward him, that smooth, boneless movement. The mouth opened wider. Jake swung the tire iron. It connected with the thing's arm with a sound like hitting wet wood. The arm bent at the impact, folding backward at an impossible angle. But it didn't break, didn't bleed, just bent, and then slowly straightened again. The thing reached for Jake. I grabbed his jacket and yanked him backward. We stumbled toward the truck. The thing followed, moving faster now, excited. I could hear that scraping sound as it moved, could smell the rot getting stronger. We reached the truck. Amber was in the back seat, Melissa in the passenger seat. I dove into the driver's side, Jake scrambling into the back. I jammed the key into the ignition. The thing hit the truck. The whole vehicle rocked. I heard metal crunch. The rear window exploded inward, safety glass spraying everywhere. One of those long white arms reached through, fingers, too many fingers, grasping for Jake. He screamed. The fingers wrapped around his ankle. I threw the truck into reverse and floored it. The tires spun on gravel, caught, and we shot backward. The arm was still through the window, still holding Jake. He was being pulled toward the broken glass, screaming, grabbing onto the seat. Amber grabbed his other leg, trying to hold him, both of them screaming. Melissa was screaming. I cranked the wheel, swerving hard. The truck fishtailed. The arm let go. Jake fell back into the seat, sobbing. I shifted into drive and punched the accelerator. The truck lurched forward, engine roaring. In the rearview mirror, I saw the thing standing in the parking lot, arms hanging, watching us leave. We didn't stop driving until we hit the highway. Even then, I kept checking the mirrors, expecting to see that white shape following us, swinging through the darkness. Jake's ankle was bruised where it had grabbed him, deep purple marks in the shape of fingers. Too many fingers. He couldn't put weight on it. We took him to the ER, told them he'd twisted it falling on ice. The doctor said it looked like a crush injury, asked if something had fallen on him. We didn't answer. We didn't go to the police either. What would we say? We'd seen a monster in a tree farm? They'd think we were high or crazy or making it up for attention. And part of me, the part that still wanted everything to be normal, thought maybe we had imagined it. Maybe it was some kind of mass hysteria. Maybe the fading light and the isolation had played tricks on us. I wanted to believe that so badly. For 3 days, I almost did. Then Jake disappeared. December 22nd, 3 days after Thornwood. Jake went out to his car to grab something. Amber was inside their apartment. She heard him scream just once, cut off. When she ran outside, his car door was open, keys on the ground. No Jake. She called me at 11:47 p.m., hysterical. I drove to their apartment, searched the parking lot with her. Nothing. We called the police. They took a report, but you could see they thought he'd just taken off. Young guy, maybe having relationship problems, probably holed up at a friend's place. They found him the next morning in Forest Park, not far from the hiking trails. The police said bear attack, but I saw Amber's face when they told her. I saw the way she looked at me. We both knew it wasn't a bear. I didn't see the body. Amber did when they asked her to identify him. She wouldn't tell me what she saw. She just kept saying it wasn't a bear over and over until they sedated her. But I heard the EMTs talking. I heard them say his arms were gone, that his legs were broken backward, that his chest had been opened, ribs spread wide, and I heard them say something had been carved into his forehead. I didn't know what it meant until Melissa showed up at my apartment that night. She'd been at the hospital when they brought Jake's body in. She'd seen things she shouldn't have seen, heard things the police were trying to keep quiet. The marks on Jake's forehead were numbers, coordinates, carved deep into frozen flesh. She'd looked them up before coming to my apartment, showed me on her phone with shaking hands. They pointed deep into Thornwood, to a clearing we'd never reached, a place far from where we'd tried to cut down that tree. Melissa thought we should go back, that it wouldn't stop until we finished what we started, that we needed to cut down that tree, complete the task. show respect or submission or whatever the hell it wanted. I told her she was insane. That going back was exactly what it wanted. That Jake was a message, and we needed to run. She left my apartment angry. I didn't try to stop her. That was yesterday. Last night I heard something outside my apartment. That scraping sound, that rustling, like something large moving across the building's exterior wall. When I looked out the window, I saw marks in the frost. Long streaks, like fingers dragging across glass. Too many fingers. I could smell copper. I could smell rot. I packed a bag, got in my truck, started driving south. I didn't stop until I crossed into California. Didn't breathe easy until I was 300 miles away. I'm in a motel now. One of those cheap places off Highway 5 where they don't ask questions if you pay cash. I've been calling Melissa for 12 hours. She's not answering. I checked the news. No reports of anyone found at Thornwood. Not yet. Maybe she's still alive. Maybe she made it out. Or maybe it's saving her for last, the way it's saving me. Maybe it wants us to suffer first, to know what's coming. I called Amber. She's in the hospital, sedated, under psychiatric observation. They think she's having a breakdown. Maybe she is. Maybe we all are. But I know what I saw. I know what happened to Jake. And I know that Melissa is either dead or on her way to Thornwood right now, convinced she can fix this by finishing what we started. I should go back. I should try to stop her. I should face whatever is waiting in that clearing. But I'm not going to. I'm a coward. I know that now. When it came down to it, when I had to choose between facing that thing or running, I ran. I'm still running. Maybe distance will matter. Maybe whatever that thing is, it's tied to Thornwood, to that forest, to that specific place. Maybe if I stay far enough away, it'll forget about me. Focus on Melissa. Focus on whoever else is stupid enough to go into those trees. Or maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe right now it's swinging through the darkness, covering hundreds of miles, following my scent or my fear or whatever it uses to track its prey. Maybe when I fall asleep tonight, I'll wake up to that scraping sound, that smell, those too many fingers wrapping around my ankle. But at least I'll have tried. At least I'll have given myself a chance. I'm not going back to Thornwood. I'm not finishing what we started. Whatever that thing wants, whatever Jake's death was supposed to make us do, I'm not playing. Some trees aren't meant to be cut down. I'll keep driving tomorrow. Maybe head to my brother's place in San Diego. Maybe keep going into Mexico. Put as much distance between me and that forest as possible. And every night, I'll check the locks. I'll check the windows. I'll smell the air for copper and rot. I'll listen for that scraping sound. Because deep down, in the part of my brain that still remembers what it's like to be prey, I know the truth. It's not done with me. It's just taking its time.